Do you have what it takes?
Hi guys, and welcome back to the hot seat. I hope you guys are all nice, warm, and cozy. It is December, so we have officially entered the Christmas season. So I hope everyone's sitting there with their house decorated and watching this amazing show. So we are going to jump right into our first guest. He is a director, he is a writer, he has his own production company and a new film that just released, and he's also a musician. So there's a lot of things that we're going to uncover with my first guest. Everyone, please welcome Lelyn Mac. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Please have a seat. I complimented him earlier, guys. He has this amazing biker jacket on. It's actually so cool. Loving it. Love the vibes, the boots, everything.
Yeah, I wanted to go all out for this, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Period. As you should.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, thank you for being on the hot seat. It's a pleasure having you.
Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate it.
So, you do so many things.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just kind of dive in. So,
Okay.
you are from Texas. Did I get that correct?
Yeah, I was born in Texas, but moved here when I was 2, so I'm from here. I I have a lot of family out there, so we go back and forth for a while just to like visit. But no, I'm pretty much as local as you can get.
Yeah, and you went to school in Utah, or did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you went to like film, video.
Utah Tech. Yeah,
Yes.
I went and changed my major a few times, landed on film, and then haven't looked back since. But it was a fantastic film program, one of the better in the country, to be completely honest.
That's great. That's great. Well, congrats on getting in, and congrats.
Oh,
on
it was
being there. That's
just
awesome.
pure luck. That's a whole conversation on like the film industry and schools and stuff. But
Oh,
yeah.
and we will get to it. I love talking to people who have gone to
Yeah.
school for this craft,
Yeah.
which is very few, and how that feels navigating. But so let's talk about where your love for film came from. Where did all of this artistic endeavor come from and thrive?
Yeah, it's all about stories for me. Like when I was growing up, I was very disconnected from like everything and like everyone, and it was I felt just really misunderstood my whole life. So I didn't have a lot of stability during the early years of my life. So what always connected me to the world was just movies and music were my 2 constants my whole life. So I knew that no matter what changed, what happened, what bad things happened, that those 2 things were always going to be there for me. So it just, and then my whole thing is I'm hoping that I can do that for the next kid that needs that. And
Yeah.
so it's just like I'm hoping to pass down the torch is what I want. That's
So-
my goal.
Right, and you have an impressive resume as well. So you've dabbled in a lot of aspects in what makes a film.
Yeah.
Gaffer, right? You've been a lot through tech, you've been a lot through post-production. I mean, you write, you do a lot of things involving the making of a film. Was there a moment when you kind of woke up one day and said, I'm just going to start working, doing anything in film?
So when I was in film school, I wanted to be, I decided that I am going to be a director. And my philosophy was, if you're going to be a director, you need to know how to do everything. Because if you don't, how are you going to get what you want when you're trying to explain to your crew, like, I want it like this, I want it like this, it has to look like this. Because if they have no idea what you want, it's not going to be a good movie.
Right.
And especially like when you're first starting out, no one wants to help you. And if the people that do want to help you, they can't spend their entire life around this project, especially when you're first starting out and you have no money and you got to do what you got to do. And so at a certain point, I felt that I couldn't ask people what I would expect from myself, just because like I didn't like I would just feel guilty about it because I know how much work is involved. So I just figured, well, if I can do it all myself, that's one less thing I have to rely on someone else for when I can just go do it. And it just having all that experience, like everything connects together in ways you wouldn't expect. So it really lets you troubleshoot and problem solve in ways that like you wouldn't be able to if you only had that one perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so being well versed really shapes you in whatever field you want to be
Oh, absolutely.
in movies, especially in film when there's so many more
Mm-hmm.
moving parts compared to, you know, stage live entertainment. That's its own thing,
Mm-hmm.
but film, there's the minute details. There's one person
Yeah.
for it, right?
Oh yeah, and those details are so important, and I do a lot of different things, but I can't express enough the importance of having a good crew of people you trust that know what they're doing, because it's just one less thing for you to think about. Like it's important for you to know it for pre-production, and for like if you want to be a director, very much encourage everyone to like be on every position on set for a while, just so you know how to do it. And totally forgot what I was gonna say. It's yeah, it's an
It's good, but see,
it's a good
it's a
thing.
lot.
It's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot.
There's a lot of moving pieces all the time, but
Right.
it's good. Like you have this level of control that you wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Like I do all the post production for my films, so like I have just final say completely on how I want it. So um, like I started as an editor, so like that just always came naturally to me. So like sound design, coloring, the actual edit itself, you can. It's really amazing not being able to like have to explain someone else your vision, because I'm not the best explaining it because it's so abstract. So it's good just to be able to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can solve problems. So
Right. Now, you also dabble a lot in music and
Oh,
music production and writing scores for films, which congratulations.
thank you.
So, what instrument is your instrument? Or plural?
Oh, it's a lot of them.
Yeah,
I'm a
great.
multi-instrumentalist for sure, but started on guitar. Started as a guitar player, big metalhead, love Metallica, got me into playing. Yeah, I'm actually I'm getting back into playing live, which I've just been missing terribly. I used to play. I was in school rock when I
Okay.
was younger, so we would play around the strip and stuff. And there's nothing like playing like in front of the crowd. There's just nothing like it. But I play guitar, sing bass, learning drums. I'm not like that great at drums yet, but I've always had really good rhythm, so that's been helpful. And then a lot of lots of synths and like keyboard, like dabbling in that too.
So, you're a one-man band.
Yeah,
Literal, like,
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
that same philosophy as my directing.
Yeah.
I was in a bunch of bands before, didn't work out. I'm seeing these people that can do just everything themselves,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can do that too. And then yeah, released my first single a few months ago, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is it called and where can you find that?
It's right now it's just I'm actually getting a new mix on it because I want to actually release it on an album with a better
Okay.
mix. But right now it's just on YouTube. I'm just like testing the waters with it, just sonically still. But it's called Two Faced. It's on the Lux Abruptum YouTube channel. That's
Awesome.
yeah.
Yes. And Lux Abruptum is your production company
Yep.
that you are head of,
Yeah.
right? And so now with this production company, you have also are starting to do a lot of feature films, right? I know you're
Yeah.
also having a film festival coming up as well
Yeah.
that you're doing. And I want to start touching base on the type of movies that you do. So
Okay,
a lot of
yeah.
this is very different than what a lot of independent films that people see, where it's about love triangles, there's a lot of dramas and stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of stemmed on your recent film called Neurosis
Yeah.
a lot from your own personal experience
Yeah.
and your battles with mental health that a lot of people don't talk about,
Yeah.
right? So if you can kind of delve into that a little bit and what that process was like for you.
It's okay. So when I'm writing, it's the only place I can feel where I can be truly honest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been this like really taboo subject, and the whole thing about writing is you write what you know. So I felt that it goes back to why I'm doing all this. I felt so misunderstood my whole life, and my hope is that like through the films that I make, that other people that are going through it and feel misunderstood can feel seen, and that's an important, it makes you feel not as alone, and I don't know, it's just that's important to me. So I wanted to that's like the main reason I went that route. Also, it's just it's hard not to when I'm writing. It's hard not to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I recently seen you did have a post this past summer where you're opening a lot about more of the personal struggles that you have with mental health and how you really want to be a voice of change for how people see it, how people view it, and how people talk about it.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's I thought it was I got diagnosed with inattentive ADHD and then quiet borderline personality disorder, which was a really hard pill to swallow. I mean, it made a lot of things make sense, but it was just I thought it was important because of the experiences I've had with my life when trying to talk to people about it, because no one really understands, or they just kind of brush it off, and it's just it's hard when you feel like there's no one there that gets it, and I especially like for men in general, I want to like change the stigma around men and mental health and being able to talk about it, because honestly it's killing us. So
And have that vulnerability.
yeah,
Right?
well, it's important to have. It's it makes you a more whole person, and you'll live longer. So maybe the world will be a little bit of a better place. Who knows?
Yeah, and you are making it that way by being someone who's being very outspoken about it.
I'm trying. It's not easy. It's but I'm hoping I can make a little bit of a difference somehow.
Yeah, you are. And with this movie, how was that filming that movie for you? Was this your first full feature?
So it is my first full
Okay.
feature, and we haven't actually filmed it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're filming this summer. It's we're doing we're kind of doing we're doing a film festival to actually support the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I see.
to get some attention for it. But yeah, we're almost got our cast locked down. We have a great crew, and we're gonna be filming this summer. I got a great actor we're working with. I'm really excited. We've been getting a lot of really cool support in unexpected
Yeah.
ways, and I'm really happy about that.
I've seen a lot of active posts on social media where you're talking about the film, the actors talking about the film. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of noise about it, and I'm sure you're really, really excited.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
extremely. It's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, and please be proud of it, because I know you are kind of having some fundraising going on for the film. So it's going to cost a lot, so that's something that all of you guys can, help out Lelyn and everything that
Yes,
he's doing
please.
with.
Please.
Huge shout out for that, because
Thank
it's
you.
his child right now.
Basically, yeah. It's all my movies are my babies.
Yeah.
No, it's I've gotten a lot of people like just encouraging me just because of the topic that it's about, because it is like it's not just a mental health movie, it's also it's a horror movie as well, so it's like I don't like, if it was just a mental health movie it'd be too much of a downer, so you gotta have like some plot with it. But the whole main character that's his whole thing. It's
Yeah.
all rich in theme and symbolism, and it's a very Ari Aster kind of approach, where it's like talking about like loss and grief and all that jazz.
I'm sure how he handles it with his own.
Oh yeah,
Yes, of course. Love it. Love seeing complexity and dynamic.
It's very
Yeah.
the script is a lot. I've heard a lot of good things, feedback from it, so I'm very happy to actually shoot it. It's my DP I've been working with him has been very fantastic. John DeMarco, shout out, he's fantastic. But yeah, my DP is fantastic, and I'm so excited to like actually bring it to life. That's
Yeah.
like and like see what my actors can do, and
Yeah.
just been working with like some really talented people, so I'm just beyond excited.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Great to hear. So you have all of this going on, right? You have your hands and everything. At the moment, do you have a kind of viewpoint into where you want each of those, I guess, labels to go? Do you keep them separate, or do you all want them to be one, and kind of, if that makes sense? You got music going, you got directing going, you're also working on other sets, right? You got your production company,
Yeah.
You're directing. are those all combined that you want to have one day, or do you want to stand there and be like, you can hire me to do it all? Or you doing, music on one film is just another side thing, or do you want to just kind of encompass it all one day?
It kind of, that's a great question. The answer is it's complicated. Every, I enjoy doing all these different things because it hits your brain in a different way, and it makes you feel, it lets you use your creativity in a new way, and it lets you voice things differently. And sometimes it's good to work through things in different creative aspects. So it just kind of depends on what the project is. So if I really want to make a feature, like I'll spend a lot of time working on that, but that's a very long-term goal.
Right.
So like in the meantime, like I can't be doing that the entire day, every single day. You got to take breaks, you got to step away, you got to take time to reflect on your choices, and there's just a lot of stuff you can do. So just break it down in smaller pieces. In the meantime, I can go in the studio, write some songs, work on some music, and then if different projects turn up, like, hey, we need a song for this, and then I get to work on a song for a little bit. But I like the variety. It's fun. The goal with Lux Abruptum is I want to be able to provide all those services, like just through through the team. So like the team is like being slowly built into a nice little family. But no, yeah, the goal is to be for it to be multifaceted, just because I am. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Love that.
yeah,
True artists. Yeah. I feel like, when you talk about how you had struggles and being understood and things like that, it's all coming out in your work, really.
Yeah.
And that's really how you can express yourself and to
Absolutely.
have people really understand you through that.
Mhm.
Which, again, society, is kind of hard if they're not an artist, really look deep into things. But I love that I feel like that's the way you're channeling all different facets of yourself, is why you have so many different talents, like how many instruments you play, right?
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people can do those things, so it's amazing to see and it's amazing to hear about, and I'm glad you're being open with me about all of that.
Oh yeah, I'm an open book. Ask me anything you want.
So is there a genre that you mostly plan on sticking to with films? You mentioned you're doing horror and drama.
I'm a big horror drama thriller
Okay.
guy. That's pretty much my bubble.
Mhm. Yeah.
All the films I've done fall within that category. I can't do comedy. I'm just like, I think I make myself laugh, but I don't think I could
Right.
do a comedy film.
Yeah.
Really. Like I'm a big horror guy. It's like it goes with being a metalhead. Like if you're a metalhead, like we usually like horror. So it's just that's always gonna have a nice place in my heart. But what I like about horror is that there's not as much limits, so you can
Yeah.
really talk about whatever you want, and you can really push the limits of what people expect, and you can really make them think about
Yeah. Yeah.
this life that we live in. And so yeah, I'm a big drama, horror, and thriller guy.
There's some crazy things that happen in those movies. So I guess it can really be off limits. So
Oh yeah,
perfect for you.
yeah. It's fan. Yeah, and it's like a lot of those movies, like people are expecting it to not be like a rom-com.
Yeah.
It's gonna be talking about real stuff, or it's gonna be at least like a little more of a mirror, to society than you would get like your like normal Marvel movie.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Lelyn Mac is more of a stage name,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So what is the beginning of that? Why that name? When did that start?
That started back in my college days. I got the name first because I wanted to be a blues guitar player.
Okay.
So yeah, I was gonna go down to New Orleans for a year, apprentice, find some blues maestro, and then learn under him for like a year. And my whole thought process was, like I have a great name. It's Alexander Leland McCormick. That's my full name. But like so Leland's my middle name, and Mac is a variation of my last name. So just that, felt like a blues player's name. So I picked it, stuck, like the way it sounded, and here we are.
Yeah, for me it has a great sound, and you can't forget, it's different, it's unique, but it's
Yeah.
also something people can remember,
Yeah.
so it's great.
And it's still me, which is the most
Right.
important part for me.
Of course. And so you basically were raised in Vegas all your life.
Yep.
Is there a reason why you felt that you really wanted to pursue this career in Vegas? You wanted to stay here, especially being here this long. I don't know how old you are, but I feel you've seen how films recently become more up and coming.
Yeah.
You know, and so I would love to hear how someone that's been born and raised here really just saw like, no, I'm going to stay here and do this.
Originally the plan was to go to LA.
Okay.
Was to, find my footing for a second, regroup, and then go out to LA. And then every single person I talked to told me not to go out to LA.
Yeah.
And LA's just been this big dying beast for the last 20 years. And, everyone who's from there talks about it, how it's dying, it's dying, it's dying. And really there's a lot that we can do out here that I've been seeing. And the waves have been rising a bit, and there's a lot of cool prospects here. That's like, I feel like Vegas could possibly become the next LA, like the new one, the new and improved, hopefully. But it's that is kind of my goal for sticking around, is I want to expedite that process if I can help in any way.
Be a part of it too, especially if it's about to blow up. Then you've got your seat already.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's actually I'm starting a film coalition down here, just for for people just to really really up their craft and just make some really great stuff.
Yeah.
And so just trying to make this really great community of just filmmakers, and just really take a step up, because if we're loud enough, we're good enough.
Yeah.
They can't ignore us forever,
Of course. So a lot of filmmakers that I have on this show basically almost say the same thing that you just said, where they want to have their own community where they're the ones that build it up.
Mm-hmm.
What would make you different than all other filmmakers in the city?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I want to think before I get an answer. I guess what makes me different is that I care more than I would say most people are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this is my life, I can't not do this.
Right.
I think that's the difference, is that most people can walk away, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not in me. I've tried. I've, had those conversations with myself. Am I doing the right thing? Is this the right path? And then just, I can't stop.
I love that.
Yeah.
What I love about your answer is that I'm really seeing a lot of similarities between you and I. So just know that I see you, I understand you.
Oh, thank you.
And so I really love that, because I feel how genuine you are about every little craft you do, and you don't do this for clout. If anything, you're like, I really feel like no one's really seeing me, So I feel like this is because I love and I have the talent for this, versus what I want to be recognize and be here for cloud and be here for.
Oh yeah, no, I just do it because I want to.
And it's you.
Yeah.
This is you. This is what you were put here to do.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna circle back. We talked earlier about your film schooling and your experience training. Now, there are those, we've all heard it in the movie, in the acting industry and all this stuff, where they say, you don't really need to go to school. You don't waste your money going to that, blah, blah, blah. And then there's those of us that did go to school for it. And the view is very different on how we see the benefits of training in this craft, if you're going to stay in it, versus those who are like, well, I'm landing jobs, so why did I need to pay for schooling?
Yeah.
How have you seen the difference of you going to school for it and then those who have not?
Well, not to put anyone down, but there is a lack of fundamentals that you can just pick out right away. It's just the more solid foundation that you have, the better work you're going to do and higher peaks you can rise to. And if you don't have that solid foundation, you don't know what you don't know. And it's just when you lack those fundamentals, it's very hard to, it's hard to understand what you don't know until you go and learn it. And that is the difference, I think. It's just you can look at something and be like, oh, like, you know your stuff. Or you can look at something and be like, yeah, I wouldn't have done it like that. And, like, not to put anyone down, but the lack of fundamentals really comes through. And, but the thing about film school is you have to make sure you go to a good one. Because some, you go and they don't even let you touch a camera for 3 years, right? I got really lucky and I got access to all the gear I could possibly want to check out immediately. They said, here's all of our toys, go play with it. So, I put it on myself to really go learn and shoot as much as I possibly could. And, like, I think while I was in school, I only did, like, we did I directed 2 films for a class. One was my capstone and one was just for advanced production. And then in the meantime, I made like 5 shorts just on my own, just doing it as much as possible. So I understand why people are like, oh, like film school is like such a waste of money, but that foundation is just so important. It's just because having that knowledge base is just, it makes you just such a tier above of where you would be without it,
Yeah, and I'm sure you don't really realize it till you experience working with people who have had no training versus those that do. And this goes all around, not just for behind the scenes, but I'm sure when you do with actors as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you can see the difference. Writers, even people who do music, those, that haven't really had that, how they even work the room and how they come to set is completely different. And in my experience, and I'm going to ask how yours was, when you don't really know, you leave school and you're like, okay, I learned all this stuff, whatever, but I just got to go out there. And then you start noticing, and you're like, oh, so there is some benefit that you get from going and being stressed and going all this stuff, right? Was it the same for you?
Absolutely. It was there was a clear difference on, I didn't feel like my money was wasted at all.
Yeah.
I feel, I am a strong encourager of everyone should go to film school, period.
Yeah.
Just, it's that important. And like all the experiences I've had with interacting with people that haven't have like just reinforced that idea.
Yeah, exactly. Same. Pro education.
Yes.
All the way.
Yes.
Please.
If you want to do this, go to school.
Please go to school.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
I don't know. So what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Say 10, 20, 30, 50 years. The end goal, whatever that is for you, what is that legacy?
I just hope I can make as much cool stuff as I can before I go, and hopefully I can help out the world a bit before I check out.
Yeah.
That's all I can really hope for.
Love that.
Yeah.
So there is one more question, and I ask all of my guests this question because it sums up really who they are to the core.
Okay.
Is there a philosophy that you live by?
Philosophy that I live by. Yeah. No one has any enemies. Peace and love. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Very peaceful guy. Yes. I enjoy this. It's so interesting because he loves Metallica, you like hard rock, horror, and you got the core.
Those are the nicest people that you meet. Yeah.
No, honestly,
go to a metal show, go to a horror convention. Those are the chillest people.
The realest people too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell everyone your social media. All of the social. You have more than one.
Okay.
Right. So let's get that going.
Lelyn Mac on Instagram, Lux Abruptum on Instagram, Lux Abruptum on YouTube, and then Facebook is just the same names. But yeah, that's basically it. You can check us out on luxabruptum.com. That's the hub for all of our stuff. If you want to look at the fundraiser we're doing, any of our films, our projects, they're all going to be there. And yeah.
And also, I would love if you gave them some information about your fundraising for your film and also the film festival that you're doing.
Oh,
Please talk about those.
Yeah. So, we're doing Lux Fest. That is it's a film festival. Support the movie. Anything that you want to throw in there, please send it in. Anything that we're looking for. No, basically, we have no limits on what you can send in. So if there's something that you're like, oh, this is too edgy to show anywhere, like send it in. We'll look at it. But you can check it out through luxabruptum.com. LuxFest has got our own panel. It's going to be in March. Entries are open right now, so if you want to submit there. And for the fundraiser, all of our there's like all sorts of perks that you can really get in, really cool stuff. A lot of BTS material through the process of making the movie, and there's also some producer credits there as well. So if you want to actually like be a producer on a film or act in a movie, there's some cool like extra positions that you can hop in as well. So yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
I
for
hope
having
that
me.
You enjoyed this interview, and being on camera instead of behind was a great experience for you.
Oh yeah. I did some I've been doing some acting
Okay,
stuff for a while.
great.
So
Great.
I'm
So
not-
he's not
I'm
as
not-
nervous as some
no,
filmmakers I have on here.
I've been in front of the camera a bunch of times. I get it.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Lelyn Mac, everyone. Please support him. Submit your films to the film festival and fundraise his next film. I'm really excited. It sounds really interesting, so I want to see it. So he needs fundraising for that. So everyone, please support him. Great guy, great energy, and yeah, don't forget he does music too. So if you need someone to write some stuff, this guy. All right, and I will see you guys after the break. So make sure you guys do not go anywhere because I know the show is not over yet.